St. James, Portmore, where you say? Walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
DJ, teacher, up top,
Spin them like a hubcap.
Up Top Podcast. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Steamo here. Welcome to Up Top Podcast, Season 4, Episode 7, the Superstar edition. And it's no better way to actually go ahead and make sure you guys understand and notice latest news in sports, predictions, you name it. And, you know, of course, Up Top Podcast, we always keep it to the top. Up top, we say. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get into this, the Superstar edition. I know there's a lot been going on in the sports. I know it's summertime. Everyone is actually getting ready for the Olympics. But before we even get into that, we want to go ahead and just recap what just transpired these last couple weeks. And it's actually the two main soccer games that everybody was watching all over the world. The Euro Cup 2024. Which featured two great countries, Spain and England, who actually battled it out until the end. Spain became victorious, and that's pretty much all their superstars that were playing on their team, as well as England had their superstar players. And it was just a great opportunity to see two countries going at it. So Spain is now the Euro Cup champion, so congratulations to Spain. And, you know, they're definitely going to go ahead and see how it goes down into the Olympics. So stay tuned for that. And then the next game that actually happened, which it was definitely down here in South Florida, and everybody and all their tribe decided to try to attend this game. And this was the big game between the two countries, Argentina versus Colombia. And man, what a battle. Like, it took even extra minutes for this game to actually finish. And wow, but even before the game started, it was chaos. Obviously, I'm sure you heard it in the news and reports at Hard Rock Stadium is where it was located in Miami. And a lot of fans felt the need to go ahead and think that they can go ahead and get into the game for free by doing all type of craziness. And security obviously was not doing its part or doing what they needed to do for everyone to be safe. So it was crazy. The game had to get delayed and all this other stuff. But most importantly, Argentina was ready and focused. Lionel Messi, you know, one of the great superstar players who won a World Cup with them, got injured in this game. Obviously, wish him a speedy recovery. But of course, you know, like two good teams. Colombia was hungry. They wanted it after, you know, defeating Uruguay, and they just said, hey, maybe we have the opportunity to go ahead and beat all the superstars on Argentina because we have our own superstars as well. So, I mean, it was just a great ending. I mean, it just came down to the wire, and Argentina scored 1-0 to become Copa America champions. And that's a big look. They already became world champions 2 years ago, and now Copa America champions. It's a great history that we just witnessed, you know, especially seeing how soccer is now being more developed or more popular, actually, I must say, in America here, all over the world. Obviously, it's more known and well known. So, you know, those two countries really show what it takes, bringing their superstar players together, finding a way to try to get the job done, and that's to win that title and to make sure to represent their country to the fullest. So, you know, I think that was two great games. You know, to recap those games, I felt like, you know, any team could have won. You know, every country that comes prepared wants to make sure that they are bettering themselves. And, you know, here up top, we always want to hear your opinions and feedback. Like, let us know your thoughts. Do you think, obviously, Argentina deserved it? Do you think also Spain deserved to be champions? And, you know, again, these are superstars that are ready to go ahead and get ready for the next level of their career. So World Cup, you know, that would be the next move for 2026, I believe. So, you know, a lot of countries will be prepared, and soccer, again, is being really recognized. As you can see, you know, a lot of countries are now coming here to play in the United States, as well as other teams are coming here. And it's just a great look for the sport, especially for those who don't even know the game of soccer. Lionel Messi, of course, who plays for Inter Miami, really changed the culture in Miami or South Florida here for sports. And soccer obviously is now being way more populated. You see, even they had their MLS All-Star game recently. So that was just a great look for people to witness, and, fans of other teams and other countries can watch them. So, we definitely want to make sure that, here at top, we always want to salute all the superstars that are playing soccer. Of course, we always got to mention the superstars, Ronaldo and Mbappe, who also got signed to Real Madrid. So, shout out to all those Real Madrid fans. You name it. It's just more and more superstars that are coming up in the making. And, of course, here we at Up Top Podcast, we want to make sure we hear from you guys. Let us know your favorite superstar soccer player. Here, we want to definitely go ahead and shout you guys out. But yes, definitely want to make sure you guys stay tuned. We got so much more to talk about in this episode of episode 7 Up Top Podcast. And it's your boy Steve-O, Up Top Reset. And stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and give you the next segment coming up soon. Welcome back. Up Top Podcast. It's your boy Steve-O. Thank you for taking the time to listen and watch Up Top Podcast Season 4, Episode 7, Superstar Edition. And, man, it's been amazing to really witness all these superstars that are actually playing. Especially the next segment we're going to talk about is nothing but basketball. So this is the NBA segment here, and we want to make sure it's so much that we have to talk about. So much has happened these last couple months after the Boston Celtics have won the NBA title. And now, they're getting ready to defend that next season. However, at this time, we're really going to go ahead and talk about what's been going on in the NBA. And so much has been going on, especially history has been in the making. One rookie player is going to play with his superstar dad, and we'll get into that. But most importantly, the NBA obviously is always changing. And also we want to go ahead and get right into, what happened obviously in the month of June, and that was the NBA draft. And you guys, see what's been going on, especially in these times where you're seeing these college students or college athletes, I would say, getting ready to go ahead and take their game to the next level. They want to become superstars in the making, but they have to start somewhere. But most importantly, they have to obviously prepare to make sure that they know that it's a different ball game. The college level is definitely different from the NBA level. And in order to be a superstar in the NBA level, you got to put in the work. You got to took the time in and the effort in. I hope that all these young men actually prepare for the next step. So, we're going to go right into it. The NBA draft happened, obviously, last month in June. And a lot of international players got recognized in this draft. Very surprising to see some names. However, one big start was, having Atlanta Hawks, who had the number 1 draft pick, decide to pick a Frenchman, just like how San Antonio Spurs picked their next superstar player, Victor Wembanyama, last year, who became a Rookie of the Year, who was also from France. And they picked up another Frenchman, Zachary Richard. He's from France, and he obviously was the number 1 overall pick to the Atlanta Hawks. So that's going to be a very interesting move for them, especially them rebuilding, trying to figure out how to keep Trae Young on that level of superstar level. And then, of course, the Washington Wizards decided to go ahead and pick another Frenchman by the name of Alex Sarr. So they actually went back-to-back on Frenchmen. So that was something that we haven't seen in a while. But then, of course, we're getting into, obviously, college level athletes in the United States level. And they, We can just go through this list. Reed Shepard was the third pick. Stephon Castle was the fourth pick to the Spurs. Ron Holland the second to the Pistons. And then just going through this list, Rob Dillingham was the number 8 pick, went to Kentucky to the Spurs. So that's a good move. I feel like him and Stephon is going to be really going back at a 1-2 punch. Then Memphis Grizzlies picked Zach Edey as their starting center most likely. And that's going to be a big move. Zach Edey, one of the top college basketball players, superstar at Purdue, 7'4". I mean, you name it, this guy is going to be a problem for years to come. And then, going through this list, the Miami Heat, they picked up Khalil Ware. And, we'll get into the Heat, of course, doing what they needed to do to make sure they make moves. Jared McCain to the Sixers. Dalton Knecht was the Lakers pick at 17. And, going through this list, you see other guys, Isaiah Collier, Terrence Shannon Jr., all those guys got into the first round. But the most important draft round that we actually got to witness was round 2. Not round 1, but round 2. And I must say, round 2 was historical for a lot of people, especially for those who are Lakers fans. They actually had the 55th pick, which they took none other than Bronny James Jr. And that is LeBron James' son. For those who don't know, he actually got drafted by his dad's team, as well as, being able to now say you've actually are going to be able to play with your dad. That's definitely superstar level right there. Your dad, LeBron James, you can tell like he was so excited and happy to be able to see that. And of course, the Lakers wanted to make sure that they started their own tradition of picking someone that actually, again, didn't get much playing time or didn't get much production on the floor. But we're going to see exactly what he can do. I mean, Bronny James, obviously, from last year to this year, big transition in his health. He obviously is now going to be able to study the game from his dad as well, study from other teammates as well as other superstar players that he's been around. And I'm very happy to see that the growth that he has made and the maturity to be able to go ahead and make sure to know that, okay, you define all odds. Now you don't have to have anybody to tell you you're not in the league. So it's very inspirational to see, now a father and son playing on the same team. And this is the first in NBA history. So definitely salute to Bronny James Jr. and congratulations as well to the James family to be able to see their own next generation after LeBron is actually retired. He will be able to continue to keep that James legacy alive. So definitely it's going to be interesting how, again, they're going to all gel well together, especially going into the off season. But, definitely want to make sure we hear exactly your thoughts on, how do you think the draft went? Do you think there could have been better players? Do you think some players could have stayed? Or do you think some players could have been on another team? So, give us your thoughts and feedback here at Up Top Podcast. We want to make sure you guys always get your feedback and share us what you think exactly what the draft was. And a lot of people may not know, but a lot of these players are going to impact their team right away. So, stay tuned for that. And, here at Up Top, we'll definitely give you the latest on that. So, moving forward, a lot of off-season moves, man. I must say, they are really not like us. And especially when you see, a lot of veteran guys deciding to go ahead and be on another team for, their own reasons. And so much has happened, in the off season when it has comes to where these players want to win a championship. So obviously we want to go ahead and get right into what happened. And that was NBA free agency as well as trades as well as signings. And, we're going to go right into it. I'm just going to go brief. From after the NBA season was over, Paul George decided to go ahead and be a free agent and sign with the Philadelphia 76ers. He will be actually a great piece with Tyrese Maxey and also Joel Embiid. Obviously, it didn't work out with Kawhi on the Clippers, and he actually wanted to make a change. He wanted also to get his money. So that is superstar level right there for him to go ahead and prove that he actually deserved that contract. The 76ers took that leap of faith and said, goodbye, Tobias. Hello, Paul. And they did what they needed to do. But salute to Paul George. I hope it works out. And, we'll see how he competes in the Eastern Conference now that he's moving out the West. A lot of guys decided to go ahead and stay. Of course, James Harden decided to stay with the Clippers for another 2 years. Also, Kevin Love decided to stay with the Miami Heat. But another also move that we didn't expect was Klay Thompson. We really wanted to see him succeed and retire and and to be able to go ahead and end off in a career note with the Golden State Warriors. You just decided to say, hey, guys, you can't afford me anymore. I'm going to go ahead and take my talents to Dallas. And he's now going to be joining with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic to the Dallas Mavericks, who was just in the NBA Finals. So it's going to be interesting how he actually fits well with that team because, he also is a great sharpshooter still to this day. One of the best shooters and three-point shooters in the game. So congrats to Klay Thompson. Another guy that decided to leave from Golden State as well was Chris Paul. He obviously got bought out and they actually decided to say, hey, I'm going to take my talents to now the San Antonio Spurs. So he's actually going to the Spurs to play with Victor Wembanyama. And, Chris Paul, obviously, he wants to win a ring, but it's going to most likely not happen. So we'll see how it goes, but congrats to him on that. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope went to the Magic, got his bag, and, of course, there's going to be other players that we heard about that's going to stay. Obviously, Jalen Brunson took a pay cut, as a superstar for the New York Knicks to decide to get in, and they decided to get another Villanova guy, and his name was Mikal Bridges. The new Brooklyn Nets decided to trade for him, and they decided to go ahead and trade Bridges to the New York Knicks, and now he's going to be reunited with his Villanova colleagues, Dante DiVincenzo, as well as Josh Hart, and now Jalen Brunson. So it's going to be an interesting duo there, and they're going to be able to make sure to keep the East competitive. So another move, obviously, was DeMar DeRozan. He decided to go ahead and be a free agent as well. And then he went to the Chicago Bulls, from the Chicago Bulls to the Sacramento Kings. So he's back at home, and he's going to be able to go back to Cali and play with De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. And it's going to be interesting how he fits with that team as well. So congrats to DeRozan. He actually got the bag as well, and we're going to see how it works out. But other players we can just go ahead and quickly go into. Kelly Oubre staying with the Sixers. Tyrese Maxey got the bag. He's staying with also the Sixers. Tobias Harris is going all the way back to Detroit, after leaving from Philadelphia. And of course, Derek White got re-signed to the Boston Celtics. Batum went back to the Clippers. So it's a lot of back and forth. We're going to definitely see how this all plays out. Andre Drummond went back to the Sixers as well. And Gary Harris stayed with the Magic. Mo Bamba going to the Clippers. A lot of different moves. All-star, superstar, you name it. Donovan Mitchell staying with Cleveland. Also, Evan Mobley staying with Cleveland. It's going to be very interesting. A lot of these guys that wanted to make sure to stay loyal to their team. Of course, LeBron James decided to go ahead and re-sign as well with the Lakers for 2 years again. And these might be these last 2 years of a superstar that we always have witnessed. So we're going to definitely miss him, of course, but we want to make sure he ends off in the right note. But of course, Alec Burks ended up going to the Heat. Joe Ingles ended up with the Timberwolves. Kyle Anderson to the Warriors. There's so many different moves. Buddy Hield went to the Warriors. I mean, so many different moves that has been going on in the league. Of course, you can definitely go ahead and take a look at all the updates on ESPN or, all the latest sources. Cade Cunningham decided to get the bag as well in return to Detroit. So it's going to be interesting. Again, a lot of these guys that, have earned their money as, ball players, but, are they on that superstar level yet? We'll see. A lot of them are all-stars, but that superstar level is what brings them to that next title contention. And we want to make sure that here at Up Top, we know exactly who do you think your next superstar player will be. I mean, it's just a lot of players are ready to go ahead and win now, including these draft picks. But we want to see how it all gels out. In the end, it comes down to coaching. It comes down to health. So much different moves are going to be made. However, one move that we clearly didn't expect to go was Patrick Beverley, who decided to go play international. He's going to go play for the Israeli Basketball League. And we talked about him, obviously, in the previous episodes that, he's going to go ahead and not play in the league this year. Decided to go ahead and take that next level of playing in overseas again because he was already going to be suspended for 4 games. So wouldn't have made a difference anyway. So hopefully it works out with him. But Russell Westbrook, man, now he became from superstar to journeyman. And, I must say, Russell Westbrook, I really think that you deserve to try to at least get a title, man. You are literally on the end of your career now, and now you decided to sign with the Denver Nuggets. And he's going to play with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, an MVP player and a superstar. And we're going to see how he actually gels. The Clippers obviously didn't see much in him. And, that was obviously a surprise for me to see him go there. But, he's going to stay in the West to compete. So we'll see how it plays out. And then, Spencer Dinwiddie going back to the Mavs as well. So a lot of different players. And then, what happened recently today was Andrew Nembhard re-signed with the Pacers. And, it's just going to be very interesting. Reggie Jackson is going to the Sixers. So Sixers have been making moves. I mean, Clippers made their moves. Warriors made their moves. The Heat made their moves. The Lakers made their moves. I mean, let us know on your thoughts and feedback. Do you think your team was good to make any moves this offseason? Let us know. We look forward to hearing that. But, here at Up Top, we definitely want to make sure that offseason goes off to be superstar season for these players. And we're going to go ahead and make sure that you guys stay tuned. We're not finished with the NBA. We got more to come. Team USA, man, we're going to go ahead and make sure you guys understand that Team USA basketball is ready to play for the Olympics. So here at Up Top Podcast, it's your boy Steve-Mo. Up Top Podcast, Season 4, Episode 7, Superstar Edition, Up Top with Set. Up Top Podcast. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen to our episode here on Up Top Podcast. It's your boy Steve-Mo. And thank you guys for actually listening, obviously, to the NBA. And we're going to go ahead and continue on episode 7, which is the Superstar Edition, where you name it, all the superstars are assembling, and we're going to call them the Avengers. To be able to participate into the 2024 Paris Olympics. And this is going to be incredible, especially for Team USA basketball. For those that obviously are not aware, Team USA pretty much decided to go ahead and regroup their whole squad. Like, they actually decided to bring in superstar players as well as younger players that are becoming superstars in the making. And they actually are now competing against other countries for the gold medal this season and this year. And here at Up Top Podcast, we'll definitely give you guys the latest. Our next episode will give you more details on the Olympic Games. But Team USA basketball, this was all assigned by Grant Hill, who actually decided to go ahead and get this roster selected. Starting off with, having the head coaches there, Steve Kerr, Tyronn Lue, and also Eric Spoelstra from Miami Heat. And, this is going to be incredible. Team USA basketball always has been one of the top in the game of international sports. From the Dream Team of 1992 to the Redeem Team of 2008 and also 2012. And then, of course, them going back again in 2020 and also having that tradition of winning the gold, making sure that excellence is there in basketball for the United States. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to get started into the rosters here. Starting off with one of the best superstars in the game, has been a gold medalist on multiple occasions, and his name is LeBron James, who was also selected. Also alongside him, Kevin Durant, who decided to go ahead and also be on this roster. They also added Stephen Curry, who will make his appearance as well as an Olympian with Team USA basketball. And of course, they're also bringing back Anthony Davis, who won a gold as well with Team USA. But yes, bringing back those guys were also needed for the other guys that, have been playing on the basketball roster. So Jason Tatum, who won a gold, Bam Adebayo, also Devin Booker, also Drew Holiday. And then, of course, we have newbies on the roster as well. We also have, of course, Mr. Tyrese Halliburton, and also Anthony Edwards. And then, of course, a surprising superstar that I wasn't expecting, I'm sure you guys weren't, was Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid wasn't really born in the United States, but he had a citizenship, and he decided to go ahead and say, hey, why not play with these guys? Why not win the gold? You have the opportunity to go ahead and prove that you're one of the best international players in the game. So instead of him playing for Cameroon, he's going to play with the United States. So this will be interesting. And of course, we wanted to obviously see how Kawhi Leonard could have actually played. He was also selected on the roster. But unfortunately, Kawhi obviously has been having these injuries, and they want him to actually stay healthy going into next season. So he decided to go ahead and opt out of the roster, and they replaced Kawhi with Derek White, who obviously just won the championship with the Boston Celtics. Now, a lot of questions have been actually coming up. Why wasn't Kyrie selected? Why wasn't Jaylen Brown selected? Even Jalen Brunson. He was also on Team USA a couple years ago as well. So it's just, those guys that actually decided to opt out, or they never got selected, with the whole Nike being the sponsor for Team USA and also USA Sports. It's a lot of controversy, but most importantly, they got Derek White, who decided to go ahead and join this roster of the Avengers. And now they're getting ready to prepare for the next chapter of their superstar careers, and that's to win a gold medal. It's not going to be easy, obviously. A lot of teams, especially in the exhibition, gave them some time to figure out how to build that chemistry together. And, this is going to be an interesting roster, I must say, because, you're bringing in all these superstar players to compete. And, a lot of them want the ball in their hand. A lot of them have to figure out how to make sure to have the ball or have not the ball in their hands. And then, of course, playing defense. That's the key. In the FIBA game, it's a little bit different than the National Basketball Association, and the rules and different areas of the game has changed. So, we're going to see how they play out. This is going to be a very, very interesting Olympics. But I really wish Team USA all the best. But most importantly, we want to make sure you guys give us your thoughts as well. Do you think Derek White needed to be replaced by Kawhi, or do you think another player should have placed Kawhi. And I've also decided to come up with my starting five. You know, Kevin Durant obviously is not actually playing, but you know, if these guys were still healthy, and you know, just say Kawhi was on the team, my starting five, obviously, I like how Tyrese Halliburton plays. He's a great pacemaker. He doesn't need the ball often, but I would have him starting. I would also even have Kyrie starting if he was on the roster. I would also have Jason Tatum starting over LeBron and Durant. Yes, I would also have Kawhi because those are guys that are playing defense. And then, of course, Embiid at the five. But, you know, tell me your starting five. You know, of course, a lot of people want to see Curry, Anthony Edwards, LeBron, Embiid, you know, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, anyone that you feel like could actually potentially be the best starting five on this Team USA roster. You guys give us your thoughts and feedback. We love to hear it. So that is definitely on the men's side. But on the women's side, they also were selected for the Olympic Games. And, you know, our WNBA superstar players are going to compete. Diana Taurasi, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, Asia Wilson, Kalia Cooper, you name it. Those women are preparing themselves to win the gold like they did 4 years ago. And they definitely dominated, beating all the international countries. So they are going to go ahead and make sure that they can continue to keep their level of the game to the top. However, they did just recently lose to the WNBA All-Star players. And the WNBA game was phenomenal with the All-Star game. They were playing against the Team USA, and they beat them. And, you know, those who actually didn't watch the game, you know, WNBA is really changing the game, especially in basketball. So you guys have to definitely stay tuned and watch. But Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, those rookies got selected. And it was just incredible to see the talent that was displayed, you know, on both sides. But, you know, this was just helping them to become superstars in the making. You know, they are not yet on Team USA. Maybe they didn't get selected. However, those women are preparing themselves to get to that next level of not only winning an WNBA title, but to win a gold medal as well. And that's going to be interesting because, you know, here we want to make sure that we also appreciate, you know, the game is done. And of course, we're seeing that the jersey sales are increasing. Caitlin Clark actually has the #1 WNBA selling jersey. And then behind her is Angel Reese. So those two women are really playing phenomenal. We definitely want to make sure to give them their props. And we want to see how this all plays out. In the end, you know, they're taking their break now, but the WNBA season will continue in all this. So for those who are WNBA fans or players, definitely stay tuned. We would love to go ahead and make sure to see who do you think will be able to be the WNBA champion for this season. So definitely stay tuned on that. So yeah, definitely we're going to be able to give you guys more on the Olympics for next episode. So we just want to make sure you guys understand, you know, the WNBA and the NBA has been phenomenal. A lot has been going on so far in the off season, and we just want to make sure we can see great competitive games as well as competitive players that are all over the world. And, you know, here at Up Top, you know, we want to make sure we take it to the top. So you guys give us your thoughts. Do you think Team USA men's and women's will win the gold, or do you think another country and with their own superstar players will come out and defeat these teams? So give us your thoughts, give us your feedback. Up Top Podcast, episode 4, Superstar Edition. When we get back, we're going to go ahead and give you guys the motivational quote, inspiring you guys this summer to continue to press forward, you know, towards your goals and your dreams. And here at Up Top, we're looking forward to sharing that with you. So it's your boy Steamo, Up Top Podcast, episode 7, Superstar Edition. See you soon. Up Top is at Up Top Podcast. Welcome back. It's your boy Steamo here at Up Top Podcast. You already know the vibes. It's definitely going to be a great summer. I hope you guys are enjoying it. And we definitely appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us, watching us on YouTube, you name it. So we're just going to go ahead and make sure we end episode 7 with, the latest motivational quote to keep you guys inspired throughout your journey of life. And, of course, you don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be a superstar player, but most importantly, you are a superstar in your own world. And what you do, it will impact many, many people to come in the future. So I have my inspirational quote I wanted to share with you guys here on this episode. And it's none other than former Team USA champion, a gold medalist, also a Hall of Famer, and also he is one of the best superstar players that ever played and had 2 jerseys retired. And this is none other but than the great Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant obviously has that Mamba mentality. And, we always can remember Kobe and his mindset, what he has done to prepare for, the next chapter of outside of basketball. He won an Oscar, by the way. So right after he retired, for those who didn't know, Kobe had that mindset to, go ahead and write a book about, what basketball meant to him and how it impacted his future. And rest in peace to Kobe. Also rest in peace to his father who recently passed, Joe Bryant. And, what he actually stated in this quote was very inspirational. It kept me inspired as well to know that, greatness is within. So he said basically, to sum up what Mamba mentality is, it means to be able to constantly try to be the best version of yourself. And that is a great inspirational quote by the late Kobe Bryant. He obviously was always going to be remembered as not only a Olympic champion, especially on that Redeem team, but, NBA champion, a Hall of Famer. His shoes are still being bought on Nike. Definitely, this is a great way for you to always stay inspired. He was a great superstar, and you also can be one yourself. That's words to live by. So, here at Up Top Podcast, we always want to make sure you guys get the latest inspirational, motivational quotes. So we appreciate you guys taking the time to learn more about that quote and to be able to do what's best for you. And, you can be great at whatever you want to do in life. So, me, on the other hand, I'm making sure that you guys take the time to watch and listen and learn about, sports. So this is something I love, and I'm going to continue to inspire for you guys. So I appreciate that. So here at Up Top Podcast, we want to go ahead and give you guys some shout outs. Well, first and foremost, I want to shout out my co-hosts as well, Sean Spacely and also Tsunami. Appreciate you guys for always definitely staying up top and making sure that we continue to keep the content going. I want to definitely shout out, of course, my family, my love, my, friends out there that continue to stay inspired and continue to do what's best for them and continue to be great in life. Thank you for all the shout outs as well to, continue to support Up Top and seeing what we're doing. Definitely want to continue to make it all the way to the top. There's more to come. We got so much more content. We appreciate it, of course, for those who actually got to watch also the Summer League that just happened. So shout out to Miami Heat. They actually were the Summer League champions for 2024. And this was a great accomplishment for them to, see all those players that one day hopefully become superstars in their own team to actually compete in. They definitely represented South Florida as well to get that Summer League title and that ring as well. So be on the lookout for that. But shout out to, of course, Kamar and Kaj Media Group. We definitely want to make sure to shout you out, man. You always have been always a great inspiration for us, always keeping our content reels going. Definitely follow him on Instagram as well as his also podcast that he has called it's relational.co. where he always gives good relationship advice between him and his wife. And of course, congratulations on the new accomplishments as well, my brother. So also shout out to for those who are actually going back to school soon or actually are on vacation and enjoying their vacation. Like I said, you guys definitely enjoy it to the fullest. But definitely want to make sure to shout out, of course, all our supporters here at Up Top. You know, every single time we appreciate you guys giving us feedback, giving us some details on what's going on. You know, we know that the Olympics is right around the corner, so you guys stay tuned. The opening ceremony will be happening, I believe, this weekend, where I believe LeBron James and Coco Gauff is going to be raising the flag for the United States. So that's going to be a major look. But all the Olympians and all the athletes from all over the world will be in Paris this weekend. So definitely stay tuned for episode 8. We're going to give you guys more exclusive details on the Olympics of 2024. Also, stay tuned to the Mind Pro League as well. Shout out to them. We'll definitely go ahead and make sure to give you guys some feedback on the Pro League as well that they have. It's always a pleasure. I know there's always other Pro Leagues that's been going on. But yes, we definitely want to go ahead and make sure you guys stay tuned into that. So here at Up Top Podcast, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to your boy Steamo. Definitely look forward to hearing you guys. Follow us also on social media. Up Top Podcast on Instagram, Up Top Sports Podcast on Facebook. We're also on YouTube, so follow us on YouTube at Up Top Podcast. Subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment, let us know your thoughts and feedback. We look forward to actually giving you guys more details, more content. We definitely want to go ahead and bring it to the top. Up top was said, and we thank you for guys for listening and staying tuned and stay lookout for more. We appreciate you guys. Take it easy, y'all. Up top was said.